Before we begin, let me say this clearly: food is not just fuel for your dog. Food is information. Every single thing you place in your dog's bowl sends a message to their body, their gut, their immune system, and even their behavior. Most owners think health comes from expensive kibble, supplements, or miracle powders. But the truth is much simpler, and much closer to what nature intended. Some of the most powerful health boosters for your dog are already sitting in your kitchen, quietly ignored. Today, I want you to look at vegetables in a completely different way. Not as fillers. Not as tools. Tools that can strengthen your dog's heart, protect their eyesight, support digestion, reduce inflammation, and even slow aging. When used correctly, vegetables can become one of the smartest additions you ever make to your dog's diet. And when used incorrectly, they can quietly do harm. That's why this matters. Let's start with one of the most underestimated vegetables of all time: carrots. Carrots are not just crunchy snacks that dogs happen to enjoy. They are loaded with beta-carotene, which the body converts into vitamin A. This nutrient plays a massive role in vision, immune defense, and skin health. Dogs who regularly eat small amounts of carrots often show brighter eyes, stronger resistance to illness, and healthier coats. Chewing raw carrots can also help reduce plaque buildup on teeth, acting like a natural toothbrush. But here's the key: moderation. Too many carrots can mean too much vitamin A, which the body stores instead of flushing out. Small portions, sliced or lightly steamed, are where the real magic happens. Next is cucumber, one of the cleanest, lightest vegetables you can offer a dog. Cucumbers are over 90% water, making them perfect for hydration, especially in hot weather. They're low in calories, low in fat, and gentle on the stomach. For dogs that struggle with weight, cucumbers provide crunch and satisfaction without adding extra calories. They also contain antioxidants that help fight cellular damage. But here's something most people don't realize: cucumbers can help reduce inflammation and freshen breath naturally. Serve them plain, washed thoroughly, and cut into manageable pieces to avoid choking. Now let's talk about sweet potatoes, one of the most nutritionally powerful vegetables you can give your dog. Sweet potatoes are rich in fiber, which supports healthy digestion and helps regulate blood sugar. They are packed with vitamins like B6, C, and manganese, all of which support nerve function, immune health, and metabolism. Dogs with sensitive stomachs often do incredibly well with sweet potatoes because they're soothing and easy to digest when cooked properly. Always cook them, never raw, and never add seasoning. No salt, no sugar, no butter. Just clean cooked sweet potato. When used correctly, this vegetable alone can transform digestive health. Celery is another vegetable that looks simple but carries surprising benefits. It's low in calories, high in water, and contains vitamins A, C, and K. Celery also has natural compounds that help reduce inflammation and support heart health. Some dogs even benefit from celery's mild diuretic properties, which can support kidney function. And yes, celery can help freshen your dog's breath, but texture matters. Celery strings can be difficult to chew, so always chop it into small pieces. Think of celery as a supplement, not a meal. Small amounts go a long way. Green beans are one of the safest and most versatile vegetables for dogs. They're high in fiber, which helps dogs feel full, making them ideal for weight management. They're also rich in vitamins C and K, along with manganese, which supports bone health. Many veterinarians recommend green beans for dogs that need to lose weight because they add volume without adding calories. Fresh or frozen green beans are best. If using canned, make sure they contain no salt and no additives. Plain is always the rule. Pumpkin deserves special attention because it's one of the few foods that can help with both constipation and diarrhea. That sounds impossible. But it's true. Pumpkin is rich in soluble fiber, which helps regulate digestion in both directions. It also supports gut bacteria, strengthens the immune system, and provides beta-carotene for eye and skin health. Plain, cooked pumpkin or pured pumpkin is ideal, not pumpkin pie filling, ever. A spoonful or two is often all it takes to support digestive balance. This is one vegetable every dog owner should keep on hand. Parsley may seem like a garnish, but it's far more powerful than it looks. Parsley contains vitamins A, C, and K, along with antioxidants that help reduce inflammation and support kidney health. It's also known for its breath-freshening properties. However, not all parsley is created equal. Curly parsley is generally safer for dogs than spring parsley, which should be avoided in large quantities. Use parsley sparingly, finely chopped, and mixed into food. Think of it as a health accent, not a main ingredient. Now let's talk about the bonus vegetable most people never consider: dandelion leaves. Yes, the same plant many people spend years trying to eliminate from their lawns. Dandelion leaves are incredibly rich in vitamins A, C, and K, along with calcium and iron. They support liver function, aid digestion, and act as a natural detoxifier. For dogs, dandelion leaves can help with inflammation, joint support, and even mild urinary issues. But there's one rule that cannot be broken: they must be organic and free from pesticides. Never use roadside or treated lawn dandelions. When used correctly, this plant is one of nature's most overlooked gifts. Now, we need to talk about caution. Not everything that's healthy in small amounts stays healthy in large amounts. Broccoli is a perfect example. Broccoli contains powerful antioxidants and cancer-fighting compounds, but it also contains isothiocyanates, which can cause gastric irritation if consumed in excess. Small amounts of steamed broccoli are generally safe, but it should never make up a large portion of your dog's diet. Kale is another vegetable that sits in the caution zone. Kale is nutrient-dense and loaded with antioxidants, but it also contains compounds that can interfere with thyroid function and contribute to bladder stones in susceptible dogs. This doesn't mean kale is forbidden. It means kale must be used carefully, in very small amounts, and not on a daily basis. Spinach falls into the same category. It's rich in iron and vitamins, but it also contains oxalates, which can interfere with calcium absorption and contribute to kidney issues when fed excessively. Small portions, occasionally, are generally safe for healthy dogs, but spinach should never be overused or fed dogs with kidney problems. Here's the deeper message I want you to understand. Vegetables are not about trends. They are not about copying human diets. They are about balance, intention, and respect for your dog's biology. Dogs are not humans. Their bodies process food differently. What heals in the right amount can harm in excess. The difference between nourishment and damage is almost always quantity and preparation. If you take anything away from this, let it be this: your dog's health is shaped by small daily choices, not dramatic overhauls. Adding the right vegetables, prepared correctly, in the right amounts, can quietly improve digestion, strengthen immunity, support joints, and extend quality of life. You don't need perfection, you need awareness. Watch your dog. Notice their energy, their stool, their coat, their enthusiasm for food. These signals tell you everything you need to know. When vegetables are used wisely, your dog doesn't just eat better, they live better. And that is the goal. Daily small choices shape long-term canine health in ways most dog owners never stop to consider. Health is rarely created by one dramatic decision, one expensive product, or one sudden change. Instead, it is built quietly, meal by meal, habit by habit, moment by moment. What you offer your dog today does not act alone. It joins everything you offered yesterday and everything you will offer tomorrow. Over time, these small inputs accumulate, and the body responds accordingly. A dog's system is constantly adapting to what it receives. Nutrients reinforce tissues, deficiencies weaken them, and excesses strain organs. This process is slow, often invisible, when always active. When a dog eats, the body immediately begins sorting information. The digestive system decides what can be used, what must be stored, and what needs to be eliminated. The immune system reacts to inflammatory triggers or calming compounds. Hormones shift based on blood sugar stability, mineral balance, and gut health. None of this feels dramatic in the moment, but over months and years, it determines whether a dog ages smoothly or struggles early with chronic issues. A few slices of vegetables added consistently can support digestion and metabolism. A steady pattern of poor quality food can quietly inflame joints, burden the liver, and weaken immunity without obvious warning signs at first. Small choices also influence energy levels and behavior. Dogs fed balanced, nutrient-rich diets often show steadier energy, clearer focus, and improved mood. Blood sugar spikes from overly processed foods can create hyperactivity followed by crashes, which many owners misinterpret as training or temperament problems. The body and brain are deeply connected. When nutrition supports the nervous system, dogs often become calmer, more responsive, and more emotionally balanced. These changes don't happen overnight, which is why they're often overlooked, but they are powerful over time. Consistency matters more than perfection. A single unhealthy treat does not ruin a dog's health, just as one healthy meal does not fix years of imbalance. What matters is the pattern. The body responds to what it encounters most often. If fresh, whole foods appear regularly, the body learns to rely on them. If additives, excess fillers, or poorly balanced meals dominate, the body adapts to stress instead of nourishment. Long-term health is shaped by what becomes normal, not by occasional exceptions. Portion sizes are another small choice with long-term consequences. Overfeeding, even with healthy foods, slowly strains joints, stresses the heart, and accelerates aging. Dogs are biologically designed to move efficiently, not to carry excess weight. Each extra pound compounds pressure on bones and connective tissue. Owners often underestimate how small daily overfeeding adds up across months and years. A few extra calories each day can translate into chronic discomfort later in life. Conversely, mindful portion control supports mobility, endurance, and longevity without the dog ever feeling deprived. Preparation methods also play a role. Lightly steaming vegetables instead of serving them raw can improve nutrient absorption. Chopping food into manageable sizes aids digestion and prevents strain. These steps seem minor, but they determine how effectively nutrients are used. A dog cannot benefit from nutrients it cannot access. Repeated daily. Proper preparation enhances the value of every meal without increasing quantity or cost. Routine timing creates stability in the body. Feeding at consistent times helps regulate digestion, hormone release, and elimination patterns. Irregular schedules can disrupt gut rhythm, leading to sensitivity or inconsistent appetite. Dogs thrive on predictability because their bodies learn what to expect. This predictability reduces stress responses and supports overall balance. Stress itself is a health factor, influencing inflammation, immune function, and behavior. Small daily routines quietly protect against long-term stress-related issues. Hydration is another underestimated daily choice. Fresh water availability, water, rich foods, and attention to intake directly affect kidney health, circulation, and temperature regulation. Chronic mild dehydration often goes unnoticed but can contribute to urinary issues and fatigue over time. Adding moisture, rich vegetables, or ensuring clean water bowls are refilled daily seems simple, yet it supports vital systems continuously. Observation is part of responsible daily decision-making. Watching stool quality, coat condition, appetite, and energy levels provides feedback about whether choices are working. The body communicates constantly, but only attentive owners notice patterns early. Catching small changes allows for small corrections before problems escalate. Ignoring these signals often leads to larger interventions later. Health maintained is always easier than health repaired. Even treats represent daily choices with cumulative impact. Treats can reinforce training and bonding, or they can undermine nutrition if poorly chosen. Using vegetables or low-calorie options instead of processed snacks subtly shifts the balance toward health without reducing joy or motivation. Dogs value attention and reward more than flavor complexity. Owners often underestimate how little is required to create satisfaction. Long-term canine health is not the result of control or restriction, but of intentional care. Each day offers dozens of opportunities to either support the body or place small burdens on it. These burdens may be manageable individually, but together they determine how the body ages. A dog does not suddenly become unhealthy. The body simply reaches a point where accumulated stress outweighs resilience. Daily choices decide where that line is drawn. The power of small decisions lies in their invisibility. Because they do not produce immediate consequences, they are easy to dismiss. Yet the body remembers everything. Cells are rebuilt using available materials. Systems adapt to repeated exposure. Over years, the difference between mindful care and careless routine becomes undeniable. Dogs given consistent, thoughtful nutrition and care often remain active, comfortable, and engaged well into older age, while others show decline far earlier despite similar genetics. What makes this especially important is that dogs rely entirely on human decisions. They cannot choose variety, balance, or moderation on their own. Every bowl reflects the owner's awareness. Every habit reflects priorities. Daily small choices are not insignificant. They are the foundation upon which everything else rests. Organic sourcing reduces toxin exposure in ways that directly influence a dog's long-term health, even though the effects are rarely immediate or obvious. Dogs are smaller than humans, which means their bodies process chemicals, residues, and contaminants at a much higher concentration relative to body weight. What seems harmless in trace amounts for a person can quietly accumulate in a dog's system over time. Pesticides, herbicides, and chemical fertilizers used in conventional farming do not simply disappear after harvest. Residues remain on the surface of vegetables and can also be absorbed into plant tissues. When these are consumed repeatedly, the body must work constantly to detoxify them. A dog's liver and kidneys are responsible for filtering toxins from the bloodstream. These organs are resilient, but they are not unlimited. Chronic low-level exposure forces them to stay in a constant state of workload. Over months and years, this can contribute to inflammation, reduced efficiency, and earlier decline in function. Organic produce is grown without synthetic pesticides and herbicides, which significantly reduces the toxic burden the body must process. This reduction does not create a visible change overnight, but it eases the internal workload day after day. The immune system is also affected by toxin exposure. When foreign chemicals enter the body regularly, immune responses may become overactive or dysregulated. This can present as allergies, skin irritation, digestive sensitivity, or chronic inflammation. Many dogs experience persistent itching, ear problems, or gastrointestinal upset that owners struggle to explain. While these issues have multiple possible causes, dietary toxins can be a contributing factor. Reducing exposure through organic sourcing removes one potential trigger, allowing the immune system to stabilize rather than constantly react. Gut health plays a central role in detoxification. The digestive tract houses beneficial bacteria that support nutrient absorption and immune regulation. Chemical residues can disrupt this delicate balance, harming beneficial microbes while allowing harmful ones to thrive. This imbalance can lead to poor digestion, inconsistent stools, gas, and nutrient deficiencies even when the diet appears adequate on paper. Organic vegetables, free from synthetic chemical residues, support a healthier gut environment by reducing unnecessary stress on microbial populations. Hormonal balance is another area where toxin exposure matters. Certain pesticides act as endocrine disruptors, interfering with normal hormone signaling. In dogs, this can influence metabolism, thyroid function, and reproductive health. While the effects may be subtle, they accumulate over time. Weight fluctuations, lethargy, coat changes, and altered behavior can all be influenced by hormonal imbalance. Reducing exposure through organic food sources supports the body's natural regulatory systems, rather than forcing them to compensate. Inflammation is a common thread linking many chronic health issues. Chemical exposure contributes to low-grade inflammation that may not cause immediate symptoms but gradually damages tissues. Joints, skin, and internal organs are particularly vulnerable. Dogs already prone to arthritis, allergies, or digestive conditions benefit from minimizing inflammatory triggers wherever possible. Organic sourcing is one practical way to reduce one category of inflammatory input without drastic dietary changes. Another often overlooked factor is cumulative exposure. Dogs tend to eat the same foods repeatedly. Unlike humans, who vary their diets widely, dogs may consume the same ingredients daily for years. This repetition magnifies the impact of whatever is present in those foods. A small amount of pesticide residue consumed once may be insignificant, but consumed every day for years becomes meaningful. Organic sourcing breaks this cycle by lowering the baseline level of exposure across time. Washing produce helps, but it does not eliminate all residues, especially those that are absorbed into plant tissues. Organic farming practices address the issue at its source rather than attempting to remove contaminants after the fact. For dogs with compromised health, aging bodies, or genetic sensitivities, this difference becomes more important. As dogs age, their ability to detoxify efficiently declines, making toxin reduction increasingly valuable. Cost is often cited as a barrier to organic sourcing, but the concept does not require perfection. Prioritizing organic options for foods most likely to carry heavy pesticide residues can significantly reduce exposure even if not everything is organic. Small adjustments, applied consistently, still create meaningful change. Over time, reduced toxin load can support healthier organs, more stable digestion, and improved overall resilience. Environmental toxins do not act alone. They interact with other stressors such as poor nutrition, lack of exercise, and emotional stress. Removing one layer of burden allows the body to handle others more effectively. Organic sourcing does not guarantee perfect health, but it removes an avoidable challenge from the system. For dogs, whose lives are shorter and whose bodies are more sensitive, this consideration carries extra weight. Choosing organic is ultimately about prevention rather than treatment. It is easier to support a healthy system than to repair a damaged one. By reducing daily exposure to unnecessary chemicals, the body is given space to focus on growth, repair, and balance instead of constant defense. Over time, this quieter internal environment supports vitality, comfort, and longevity in ways that are subtle but deeply significant.